Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Denise. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I have a question.
Sure, go.
I sent in for my the 147C, and I got the letters back, but and I noticed in the group the 575 that people are saying that they're not getting their payment voucher, and when you ask the person for it, they say they don't know what they're talking about. So, is there a certain form number for that voucher? They said
No,
the 670 is not it.
no, the 670 is actually the code that's in the bar. It's like in the barcode at the bottom of the voucher itself. So when you request a 147 letter, the reason why you have to do a 147C is because you can only get the CP 575 when you do your EIN online. That's the only time you get that CP 575 letter. Then anything after that, if you lost it, misplaced it, or you're just looking to try to get the voucher, you call and you say, "Hey, I need to get a copy of my EIN number. Can you send me a 147C letter, which includes a payment voucher?" You can say that and see if they send it to you that way, because you're looking for the code that's at the bottom of that voucher that has like a bunch of numbers, and then you'll see 670 spaced out in the bottom of it. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I did notice that they say if you owe money, they just send you a payment voucher with that
Mm-hmm.
to pay here, and then in the group it said to just fill it out like it says and send that coupon back as the payment, correct, as a money order.
I think that's what I've heard people say. Yeah, that's correct. I haven't done it personally, but I think that's what people have said. That sounds about right.
Okay, so when I call this time, instead of asking for a 670, I say there's no voucher on this letter.
So you got the 147C, but there was no voucher on the last page, correct?
Correct.
So you can ask them for, say, "Hey, can you send me another EIN letter with the payment voucher?" And just ask them and see if they'll be able to do it that way.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for your question. Anyone else?
Yes, I have a question. How are you doing?
Hey,
Peace and love.
Hey, Jacqueline, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. This is actually a question for a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband became deceased, and she and he were um filing taxes together. And because she owed, they took her $27,000 out the bank. So I don't know if you have the answer to this, but is it a possibility that you may know of that she can 1099 it as something that was paid? I mean, 1099 OID. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, it was a payment that was made. I would think so. Yeah. Anytime you give out that greenback and it's over $600, you have the right to claim that.
Thank you.
So definitely, especially since they took $27,000 out of her account.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. It was her bill or his bill?
It was her bill, but
Okay.
because they filed on joint, they took it from her bank.
I don't think it has anything to do with them filing jointly. If she owed the debt from,
Yes.
then they just went to an account that had her name on it.
Yeah, probably that too.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like to me.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. But yeah, tell her to definitely file the 1099 for sure.
Okay.
Anyone else? Questions, thoughts, comments? Come on, y'all. It's a small group right now. It's only 15 of us.
Hello.
RP, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you. I have a question about the 670
Mm-hmm.
voucher or coupon there. I was wondering if when we send those in, like if we're paying our T-Mobile, do we make that? I know we do the pay to the U.S. Treasury, but do we when we send those into the IRS, do we send that coupon statement that we got from T-Mobile along with that?
With the payment voucher? My opinion would be I would send in. I would send a copy of it. Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but now, and I know also we supposed to put some kind of verbiage on there as well. So we would usually will probably put the same thing as we put on that money order, that 670 money order.
You mean on the T-Mobile voucher itself as
Like,
well?
yeah, paid to the U.S. Or
I
because
wonder.
we don't make it out to T-Mobile, we will make it out to the U.S. Treasury, right?
I believe
It
so.
depends on who you're sending
Oh,
it to. If you're
like what?
trying to pay T-Mobile,
Mm-hmm.
the 670 voucher is your voucher from your account,
Mm-hmm.
and you're filling it out to the payee. So if you're trying to pay T-Mobile,
Mm-hmm.
you need to know T-Mobile's trustee and what form that they accept negotiable instruments,
Oh, okay.
right? Because the ones that we're really focused on is paying the trustee of the Treasury, which is paid to the order of the United States Treasury. That goes to the
Mm-hmm.
trustee. And it's credited to our account at the Treasury. So if you're sending it to some other payee, you need to know that payee's acceptable documentation. So you have to contact T-Mobile to get someone in the back office to share that information. If they accept it, it's in their documentation. But you'd have to get that information for your scenario.
So,
But Stephen, let me just ask a clarifying question, RP, real quick. Stephen, so if that's the case, if you send it to the Treasury, does the Treasury turn around and pay T-Mobile on your behalf when you do it when we send stuff to the Treasury?
If you have a letter of instruction and you have included all the information that you need to identify your account at T-Mobile, they might do it, but you need to be able to have like a fiduciary control over that. So you're kind of like talking about you're acting as a fiduciary, which means you're, for a trust. So that starts to get snowball into a much more complex situation.
Can you find that information on the prospectus?
Yeah, because they have to identify who their trustees are, or their address for the trustees.
Yeah, it's definitely in their AK. Yeah, it's definitely there.
Can I jump in there? Can I interject?
They have to file with the SEC. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second before you interject, Steve. RP,
Okay.
you had a question and I cut you off, honey. What was your
no,
statement?
that's exactly what I wanted to know.
Okay.
And you answered that. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just listening now. Thanks.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Okay, what I was saying was if she takes that 670 coupon and if she's sending it to the Treasury and she's putting pay to the Treasury, if she takes T-Mobile, make sure she get a a W-9, and make sure she get that right EIN number from T-Mobile, and also write the account number down right beside the EIN number of T-Mobile, then the Treasury will pay it.
They'll pay it directly?
They will be the easier. That's what according to Noble Phoenix was saying. Because when you're endorsing the back of it, you're paying to the Treasury, then you put the name of who you're paying, which is the T-Mobile, and then that third line she put the EIN number of T-Mobile and also the account number that she has for T-Mobile.
And this is on the front of the 670?
No, it's on the back.
You put it on the back of this? Okay, on the back.
Yeah, it's part of the endorsement.
Okay, so RP, what he's saying is you endorse on the front, but on the back side, that's where you put that additional information. So you said there was three. You said there were 3 lines. Can you repeat that, Steve, about the 3 lines?
It's 5 lines. It's five lines is payable to the United States Treasury. Mm-hmm. The second line would be the company who's it going to. The third line would be the EIN number of the company. Right beside of it, the account number that you have with the merchant. Mm-hmm. The fourth line is going to be, I can't remember. I think it's your signature and your name, and then the fifth line will be without recourse. Or you can tell her also too. She can go on the RECOUPERS at that. I think it's the February 19th. Phoenix talks about that as well.
Okay.
You can go back and listen to the audio. From February 19th.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Steve. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Anyone else? Questions, comments, thoughts? Does anybody have any experience dealing with car notes and stuff? And like I haven't paid my car note in over 2 years. And then I sent them information to tell them, like this is fraud, all this different stuff. And no one has said anything. But then most recently I got a letter from a law office talking about they want to take me to court. So I'm not even sure what the next step would be for that. Does anybody have any advice regarding car notes of how to get rid of them?
Well, like in your particular case scenario, did that letter you received from the attorney's office indicate that they were collecting a debt on behalf of a third party?
Yes.
That's illegal. That's against the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act.
They can't sue me on behalf of the finance company?
Right. Because a attorney cannot represent a debt collection. They would have to hold it and be the holder in due course of it, which would mean they have to have proof that they have the everything agreements.
That's a validation.
You're right.
That's a validation.
Say that again?
Validation proof of claim, right, sir?
Right. The party that holds it must do it.
So I must be notified by, I think it's TD Auto Finance. They have to be the ones to be contacting me, not an attorney.
Right. I mean, it could be an attorney that works directly for the company. Like they are within that organization. It cannot be a third party.
No, it's a third party, and they charged off the debt.
It's already charged off.
Yeah, and they're still trying to take me to court.
Look
Yeah,
at DCPRA violation.
That attorney, make sure it's attorney, because that maybe sometimes you have debt collector. What they do is they send a letter out, basically trying to act like attorney, but they're not, and that's a deceptive practice. They can't do that. So make sure they sent the letter, who they sent out to you, make sure they are an attorney. First of all.
Okay.
What if the attorney actually has started receiving money from you from that collection? How can you turn that? How can you go back and get the money and maybe stop their collection process as far as me making payments to them?
Well, that's a mess right there, because they presented a fraudulent contract and you acquiesced to it. Therefore, you made that contract valid.
Can I pay that with the $670 voucher and just go back and recoup that 10 times the amount with
That's
the
what I was
A and
gonna
2
say.
B's?
Yeah.
I was going to say
it's
that,
an
but
extension
pay
of your
it double.
credit.
Okay.
But pay it double.
Pay it double?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pay it double, whatever it is you owe, or they are reporting that you owe. And I mean, you could just, or whoever, I think that was Dr. Heather talking about the car payment to, the third party debt collector, they're a third party debt collector. You can either just make a 4-payment coupon to them or to the original creditor, and fill it out for double.
Now I have a question about that then, because this was a credit union that the attorney is working for. So can I go back and do the credit union as well?
I mean, I haven't done it specifically, but I am just about to do this because I have 4-payment coupons, and other people have been talking about bonded promissory notes and what the difference is between a promissory note and bonded promissory note. And so I because there is an aspect of, yes, they're third-party debt collectors, so you could do a administrative process and be like, show me proof of the contract, but they're just going to send you a copy of a certified copy of something. But the other concept is that the debt of the United States shouldn't be questioned. So we're the creditors. We can just pay double with our credit. And then, yes, and then turn around and recoup it times 10 with a B. So it's worth a shot anyway. And then, yeah. So what I was thinking of doing for mine is using my 4-payment coupon, doubling it. And then, and I was still contemplating doing that and sending the statement, the 4 coupon payment to the IRS, but also sending it to the indentured trustee, the same setup. So it might be double paying it. And then I was going to throw in a 1040V coupon for this, for the amount. So that they should have, so the company can have all the tools to do it, and the, and the IRS would have all the tools to do it. That's what I was thinking, because I don't know, I'm just going to try it. But also, I was on a call, or I was listening to a call a couple of weeks ago, and from another group, and the lady said that a guy had a stroke. He was in the hospital, and he just asked his wife to go get that 4-payment coupon, and he brought it in and handed it to the hospital. And he ended up with a $200 bill from his 2-week stay in rehab. So
I heard it's a lot easier with hospitals. For some reason, it's easy for them to process that for some reason. I don't know why.
Right. I've heard that numerous times too, that it's much easier with hospital and medical bills. But also she said you don't have to do anything, but the lady speaking said you should say, hey, I'm a living child of God, to make, or non-decedent, like make sure they know that you're not dead and that you're the beneficiary and that you're appointing them as trustee to handle the matter, and here's the coupon. But apparently the man with the stroke, all he did was hand a blank coupon to the hospital, because that does have all your information on it. So I only recently listened to that, and I'm going to just try all these different ones I just said to you.
Thank you for that, Susanna. That was good information. Nils, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to add something. Some years ago, the government dental school, they asked for, it's okay, the bill, the cost would be decent, like $500. I was like, okay, I have to sign this. I'm not going to hurt my... Because I've been thinking of it after. So like, this was first time I not signing anything. I'm kind of so I was thinking of after that. Then because I refused to sign, I'm sorry. I'm going to autograph, not sign. I'm not going to give away my signature. So after thinking about after, then they plan to collect money plus payment. So it's very funny, really funny. So yeah, these things on the government level agency. I have a couple of success stories that this works. We have to talk with the issuer, and I just told them, "Can you credit on my tax account?" Yeah, sure. So I get payment back from the tax.
Wait, what did you? So you talked to the merchant? You're saying, Nils?
The one success story of that is a small claim court because I sue one insurance debt collector company. So I made a claim case, and then I say I'm not the bill. I'm the creator of the bill and the case. So please pay me. So I did it 3 times. There's 4 times. Now you are in dishonor, so I have to send you. I send them a bill. Mm-hmm. and then I called up the issuer, asked them, can you just credit on my tax account? Yeah, sure.
Instead of paying the bill.
Yeah, instead of paying me, so I get paid instead of get paid.
They put the credit on the merchant account, or they put it on the IRS account credit.
On my local tax account, because I'm from Norway. So.
It was a local tax account.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I just used. I found a template on a bank website, so I used remittance. So I used the word. You have to use their terms. Credit, and remittance. Then these two wording, they understand.
So you're saying go to the merchant's website, figure out for their credits and remittance what they use.
Who is the issuer? First, talk to the issuer.
Yes. For example, what RP was saying was T-Mobile. Initially, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, correct.
So you go to T-Mobile, you try to find out how do they accept remittances.
Yeah, who is the accounting office?
Okay, and that's the same thing that Stephen was saying. Okay, thank you for that.
Not for personal, private companies, but most likely government companies, government agency is easier because they have like small claim court, like bailiff office. They have direct access in what I have called these offices. They told me straight, bailiff office, they have direct access to your tax account.
So when you say government agency, you talk about like if you had a bill from the state or things like that.
Not from the private companies.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to make it. You have to differentiate between private companies and public agency. Yeah.
Yes, I know what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Jacqueline, were you going to say something? Your mic is open.
No, I was making a mistake trying to mute it because listening. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No. You're fine. I'm just asking. Anybody else
have
have
a
any
question?
Khadijah?
Yes.
Go ahead, honey. Greetings.
I was listening to, I don't know if you said it, Dr. Heather, earlier about your car. And
that was me.
That they discharged it.
Mm-hmm.
Did they ever send you a 1099-C?
Girl, no.
Okay, yeah, they should have. If you have proof that they discharged that amount and they never sent you a 1099-C, you should do one yourself.
I believe I did do a 1099-C for it already.
Oh, okay. Well, that's your proof right there. You shouldn't have to go through that because it's already discharged and you have a 1099-C showing that the debt is no more. So I would send that. If the lawyer's office is the one that's contacting you, just send them a copy of that with a cover letter saying, hey, it's already been discharged and I have proof of it and you should be good.
I just checked my email for the last information letter that I got from them, and they actually sent me a settlement offer saying like, oh, you owe this amount, but now we're willing to accept this amount on behalf of TD Auto Finance.
Oh man, no. Like if they already
that's
discharged
collections. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would actually ignore it. But I mean, I would send them a copy of that too. Like, hey, it's already discharged. Why do I owe anything? And what we're supposed to do, and I think everybody here knows, is that we're supposed to file it on our taxes.
Right.
To show that that's been discharged. But you can do that 982 form to the IRS 982 for the reduction of tax.
What is it called?
Attributes. It's a form 982.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, you can do that form, and that form will actually like forgive that 1099-C. Like it won't go towards your taxable amount.
So form 982.
Reduction of tax. Mm-hmm. It's reduction of tax attributes. Yeah, due to discharge of indebtedness. So since they did that, you can actually fill that out. Yeah, and send it to them.
I just went on the IRS website and I just Googled it. So I'm going to look into this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey, is that collection reporting that that they bought up, or they reporting it on your credit report?
Not the attorney, but the actual finance company saying that I had late payments plus that it was discharged. Yes. So my credit report.
Okay, there's a thing that you can send to the credit report because technically there's a in the IRC manual, once it becomes charged off, it's considered indebtedness, and according to the IRS, they can't report indebtedness. So you can, there's a letter that you're supposed to send to the credit bureaus.
Where do I get that from?
I can send that to you.
Yeah, DM it to me if you don't mind.
Okay, I'm gonna look for it right now while we're on the phone.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I would like to have a copy of that letter too.
Well, it's not a letter; it's verbiage. But let me pull it up, and then y'all go and continue talking. Let me go ahead and pull it up.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
Thank you.
I got a question.
Go ahead. Jesse?
Yeah, the question is, yeah, I was thinking about about how would you go about, say, for instance, you have to go to the dentist, maybe get an invoice for like 20 grand, maybe that's the procedure. How would you go ahead and do a negotiable instrument on that?
Actually, I was actually thinking about that when we were talking about the 670 because I have a $900 bill with a dental company that I need to pay because my insurance didn't cover it, or there was some issue with the insurance. So I was actually just thinking about that while we've been on the call, if I should do a 670, fill out a 670, and because it's a small private firm, like dental firm. So I wonder, I don't even know if they will accept a 670 or if they even know what to do with it or not. I may call and talk to the office manager and ask them of how do they accept negotiable instruments. So that may be one avenue, just so you don't get a kickback because you don't want to do all that paperwork of filling out the 670, filling out, endorsing the actual invoice that they send you, and then they're like, "What is this?" Right? Because she's the one that processes everything. I know I know who the office manager is there. So I don't know. Is it a large firm that you go to for the dental procedure? That you said it was 20 grand. That's a pretty significant amount.
Right. No, that's just an example, and it's hypothetical.
Okay. I would definitely look into like contacting them to see how they accept remittances. If it's just because some of them say, "Oh no, we only do electronically, wire transfers, things like that." When you use the word remittance, but like someone else had said earlier, like you should contact them first to find out if they're a publicly traded company, then they have an AK and all that stuff, so you can deal with their trustee department. If they're a private company, then you just got to figure out if they call them and ask them specific questions of whether or not they know how to handle a negotiable instrument. Because if you're going to send it to them directly, they need to know how to process it. Otherwise, you would send it to the Treasury, like someone had said earlier, with a letter of instruction, a copy of your invoice or your bill, and then have them, the IRS or the Treasury, pay that bill for you on your behalf. That was the other thing that they were saying when you do the 5 lines on the back of when you endorse it, on the back of it, you put those 5 things, and you have the EIN number of that actual dental office, if you can get that, or the W-9, and then you also put in your account number that they have for you, saying that you owe this debt. So that's what someone had said earlier on the call. Did you hear that part when someone was talking about it?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we're recording this call, so you can go back and listen. What happened about 20 minutes ago. So it's probably in the beginning of the call when I believe it was Steve that was talking about it. So that gave a little bit more detail of how to endorse it.
Right, and then the person in general, right? The people would go and get the invoice, and like you said, send it with other documents to the Treasury. They would clear it on their end, meaning that they would send the funds over to the dentist office. Then they give you a call saying, "Yeah, you can go come in and get the procedures done."
Well, yeah, most likely there'll be an invoice after, not before. I would imagine you will have to get the services done unless they want upfront payment. If you're saying like if you want to prepay for the services.
Yes.
I'm not sure how that works. I thought you were talking about you got a bill. You had a bill for $20,000. Okay. I'm not really.
Yeah, the premise would be that you would go in there because you're not going to pay FRN, so you go in there and say, "Okay, we checked out your mouth, see what you need, and it's going to come out. You're going to be able to can I get an estimate type deal?" Then they'll give you the invoice, right, of what all the procedures, the whole roll down, the whole thing, right, list of things, and then you cool, fine. I'll get back with you, and then you do in the back end, you do your thing, you do your magic, and then go ahead.
No, I said technically, yeah, I agree. You could possibly do it that way too, to get it up front. Yeah.
Which were you thinking?
that you use a 670 voucher, the same thing I just mentioned before about using the 670 voucher, but use that estimated, that documentation that they gave you with the estimated amount of how much is it going to be. And then you send it to the Treasury, but you need to get the EIN number of that dental office. You got to do some legwork ahead of time before you do that. You need it so you can do it. Ask them for their W-9, which will have their EIN number. So you'll have that. And then you submit that to the Treasury.
Got it. Gratitude.
Does that make sense?
Gotta do it.
Okay, cool. Cool. Thank you for your question. Anyone else? Thoughts, comments, questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead, Denise.
Another one.
Mhm.
Hey, yeah, I found that I have my original EIN number at the bottom where it's got that coupon that says the 99999.
Mhm.
So, is that the payment?
At the very bottom, well, it shouldn't. So you found your original CP 575. Is that what you're looking at?
Uh-huh.
It would not have the 670 670 code at the bottom. So if you look at the bottom of that voucher, there's usually some numbers at the bottom, almost like a barcode.
Yeah.
And then the 670 will be there in that section.
Okay, but you can't read it. The bar numbers is just all those little lines.
Yeah, so that's not the correct one. You have to call to get like what we talked about earlier. To try to get one that says 670.
So my other question is, like, if I once I get those coupons, can I transfer credits to another, like the Social Security number, if it's coming from a trust?
You mean like if the 670 is a trust? The
Right.
entity
No,
is a trust?
Yes.
Can you transfer those credits to? Well, yeah,
some of them.
Yeah, the trust can transfer credits to anybody, because I think that's the 1041T, isn't Tom? That where you tell who is the beneficiary of any of the credits that the trust has.
Mm-hmm.
So the trust receives credit. Let's say it's a credit of $500,000 or $1 million on the trust. The trust can just delineate those funds over to me, you, whoever.
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
Thank you.
What I with that too, Dr. Heather, I read something briefly on that. If I can find it, I'll post it. That you can't transfer it to a Social Security number, but you can transfer it to another EIN. I'll find it and see if I can. I'll see if I can locate it and post it. But I believe that's what I read. That it's only like for a trust to trust, or from a trust to another entity, not a Social Security number. I'll look at it and see if I can find that translation in the IRM and post it in the chat if I find it. But I don't. I want to say I'm almost like 98% sure that it says you cannot do it to a Social Security number.
Well, if you do a 1040, have you heard of the 1041T form?
Have you heard of me?
Yes.
No. I've never heard of that. No.
Okay, the 1041T is where you can list out beneficiaries of that trust. Who gets the money?
So is that a particular form? I'll look it up now.
It's an IRS form.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Form.
Okay,
where you can list out the beneficiary. You can send it to other EIN numbers. You can send it to a Social Security number. You decide 10% goes here, 15% goes here, another 20% goes there. That's what the 1041Ts and Tom is for.
I see it now. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. I did not know that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just don't forget to include your K1 forms at the end of the year for your trust filing.
Yeah, you got to do the K1 as well. Correct. Thank you, Stephen, for that. Nils, what
you don't need to have K1. You can have only T, because my research says 1041T. No need to be taxed, so have to be listed. The beneficiary have to be listed on the trust if you want to distribute. Yeah, send it to the.
Yeah, it'd be listed. Yeah, they could be listed as part of the benefit, because this is for beneficiaries. So yes, they would be listed in the trust, but nobody really sees the inside of your trust unless you decide to give them a certificate of trust. So you can just list it there. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, I want to ask. because my plan is to have this credit from the 1099A CP filing I have, then transfer it from, because now it's on 18 records. I want to transfer it to another trust I have. So I plan to take out 4.9 million on the trust and maybe 2 million on 18. Does it sounds good plan or bad plan? And then I use 1099 OED because I have to make a check, and then I do the what is called 1041 trust tax return and transfer, declare all the
I can't
numbers.
answer that. I can't give you my advice on that because I've never done that before.
Okay.
I don't have any experience in that, but I'm always an advocate for, if your spirit is leading you to do it, why not do it? Your spirit knows better than I do.
I
better than my
understand.
opinion. You know what I mean? So I don't, honestly, I don't have an opinion on it.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if anybody else does, feel free to speak up.
I have a question, Dr. Heavy.
Go ahead.
I got I did send some things to the IRS and previously standing on, my capacity and things of that nature. So I have a few trusts. And then lo and behold, I got a packet in the mail, and it was a 0147C and the 147. I didn't ask for it, but I read over it, and it was signed by an operations manager saying, hey, you called in for your EIN, but I already have the CP575. I didn't do anything with it, didn't endorse it, didn't do anything.
They do some random stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, and it was like something along the lines of, hey, you can use this if you don't have your CP575, and then it had the 670 voucher in it used for payments inside of that as well. But I just found it strange that it was signed by operations manager, and I'm like,
oh, it's always signed by operations manager. That's generically how they do it. But at the same time, it's weird that you didn't request it, but you must have sent some. Did you do anything recently within the last 30 days, 45 days before you got that letter with the IRS?
The only thing that I did do, I sent in a 1041 for another trust that the same entity is the trustee over. So I'm not sure if that activated it or not.
Maybe that triggered it. It's very possible.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just wondering. Thank you.
Anyone else? What's going on? Questions? Comments? Random thoughts?
Hi, Dr. Heather.
Hey, Jerome.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great, and yourself?
Pretty awesome, thank you. Is it possible that Stephen can clear up something? And Nils, Stephen said you should do a K1 at the end of the year. Don't forget. Nils said you don't have to do a K1 when you do the T form, the 1041 T form. Can they clear that up for me, please? Thanks.
Stephen, you want to elaborate on the K1?
Well, the K1 is a filing of any disbursements from a trust to a beneficiary. So that's what that form is for. So the reason it's mentioned is if the IRS determines that you have failed to accurately report any of the actions of the trust, they can move to strike you as the trustee and put themselves back in that place. So it is up for your discernment to determine if you want to ensure that you're accurately reporting everything, or hope and pray that the one agency on the planet that follows the law to the T doesn't come after you. It's up for each of us to decide how to take that.
And the 1041T is filed before you even file your taxes. You file it ahead of time. So you file it as soon as possible, and then the K1 is filed when you do your taxes. So I hope that clears it up. So those are two different time frames and two different times that you do it.
Right, it cleared it up for me. I was just wondering why Nils said you don't have to do it, but thank you guys.
Right, it depends on each individual's specific circumstance. So if you're like, for example, only transferring things between one trust to another trust or a trust to another corporation or any EIN entity minus social. You might be fine with a 1041 if the agent that you get has all of the knowledge that you have and they understand it. If they don't, they say, well, there's a disbursement on a 1041T and there's no associated K1, investigate. Doesn't matter if you're right, does it? Because now you have the time, effort, and hassle of dealing with that agency. So it just depends. And it's not an answer that no one likes to hear, because like, what do you mean it depends? Like, it depends on everything. What the weather's like that day, and if someone kicked their dog. It could get you an audit.
Yeah,
I'd
although
rather
I
do
come,
have more
sorry.
paperwork than not enough paperwork is the way that I
Yeah,
am.
sorry, my colleagues. So it depends, on my understanding, it depends if the 1099 idea is tax exempt or not. So if it's not, if it's tax exempt, so you can put 0 on tax exempt on the K1. So you can you can report it as tax exempt, but you have to make sure that you have to make the groundwork so that beneficiary can use the 1041T as their tax return on 1040. That is my was my understanding. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it is always better to give them everything that anyone of any knowledge level could need to make a determination that they're capable of making, than to leave something out. It leaves them suspicious.
Agree.
So
Right.
one more question to that. That sounds, I think you're absolutely right. It's better to give them more than not enough. If you're gifting, do you have to also do a K1?
Any disbursement from a trust must be reported. Take that as you will. Put it on whatever form you need.
Gratitude. Appreciate it.
Anybody else? Questions, thoughts?
I just got here because my phone is totally screwed up. But can somebody give me a quick rundown what we were discussing?
We were just talking about the trust right now. We were just talking about trust and disbursements.
Okay. Like testaquivi trust pardon?
What's your question?
Are you referring to the testaquivi account or trust or something different?
They were just
talking about disbursements from a trust and tax reporting requirements.
Okay. All right. I've been having trouble connecting with people in this group, so.
Well, did you have a question about something specific that you need support in?
I don't even know where to start anymore. I've been so far down the rabbit hole for 35 years, so I don't even know where to start anymore, to be honest.
Do you have your trust established already?
No, I haven't even got, you talk about like the EIN and claim the name, all that.
Your actual trust, yes. Your actual trust that you have,
No, nothing.
Okay.
I'll start talking to people and then they I don't know, bail out on me or something because, I'm just.
Have you gone through the folders in the group?
Yeah, I did have somebody reach out to me and somehow I lost the contact or they're no longer available on Telegram, so.
Well, nobody from the group should be reaching out to you individually regarding processes unless they want a study buddy.
Oh, no. Well, that's what I was looking for.
Okay, so whatever. Are you a part of the study groups that we have for your state?
No, I haven't even figured out how to find anybody from my state to connect with. That's what I'm
we
saying.
have study buddy groups. There's a folder that talks about study buddy groups in there. If you send me a DM, I'll send and tell me your state, and I'll send you the link.
Okay. Well, I'll just tell you.
As it pertains to the trust and EINs, right?
Okay.
Trusts are created first. EINs are the declaration to the government that you have an established trust.
Right. Okay.
Right. And the trust is, in very simple terms, an agreement between you, the living, and the corporate entity that operates in commerce.
Right.
There's an
Yeah,
express trust. You are an
Yeah.
authorized representative, right?
Right.
So
Right.
until you have established your terms on how your trust is operated, you must operate under their terms,
Right.
which are secret.
And that's where I'm looking to just get started. I mean, I've known about all this stuff, you know, for over 35 years worth of, you know, spare time.
Right.
But I just don't know where to
Here's a
start.
recommendation. Go to claim your credits, look in the files, find the version 1 and 2 templates. There's slight variations.
Well, there's a third one too, Stephen.
Yeah, there's a third one too, but I'm gonna hold off on that one.
Okay.
Look at those two things, right?
Okay.
Look at the wording. Read through the entirety of the template.
Okay,
If
now
you
where's
can understand it.
It's called Claim Your Credits, he said. Claim Your Credits. It's a folder in RECOUPERS.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Once you have understood what the templates say in those sample trust documents, go out to like, oh, what's it, that thing? It's like LegalZoom. Sign up for a sample account, not sample, trial account.
Okay.
Get a template for a trust, a living revocable trust in your state.
Okay.
Get the template, cancel the subscription. Right?
And there's plenty of templates too in the group too, for free.
Right,
So
but like they have differences between them, and I'm giving you like a bunch of samples because you're going to use these samples to base what you create, because that's the whole thing about it. It must be customized to you, because you can't take what's there and just use it as it is. You can't do that.
Right.
You must customize. So once you've got those 3 of them, and you can understand what they say, look at the version 3. Find the differences. Because the version 3 has been updated to be more up to date in all of the things. But you got to start with the basis. You got to build your knowledge and then go from there. Once you can use those documents you could copy it in its entirety and just modify it, add stuff in, remove stuff, add particular things that are very specific, like in the attorney powers, or not the attorney, the trustee powers and what's being given to them. Then you will have a trust, but you have to sign it and it must be witnessed. All right. So that's where a notary or the 3 witnesses comes in.
Right.
Then you will have a trust. It's private. No one knows about it. You haven't even told the government yet.
Right.
When you want to do that, get your EIN. And then you have a trust operating on your terms.
Right. I'm familiar with a lot of that, but thanks to the yeah, that's where I start to get back into this stuff, and I'm like, oh crap, what am I forgetting? Because I know there's something that goes before this, but that comes after that. Yeah,
right.
That's what I need a study buddy for.
Right, because the CYC is like, go through, change your status, put the government and everyone on notice that you're a living being, and then go into your trust. Because part of the thing about that declaration is you have established trust.
Right. Is that the notice of parties and parties of notice thing?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Gotcha. Okay. So you got to do that.
The most important thing is establish your trust.
Yeah.
And so if you think about it, time doesn't exist except for inside of your mind. So once you have created a trust, the trust has been created. It's a moment in time that has existed for always, which is why nunc pro tunc comes in handy. Because if you have created a nunc pro tunc, Latin for as is now, was then.
Okay.
So legally, we can only backdate it up to 25 years. So you have to be age of majority in order to have a trust, your own trust, to create it, which is why you can go back 25 years.
Okay. Well, I'm almost 54, so that's not an issue.
Right.
But see, I have a question on that.
Longevity. So then you come out and you say, hey, IRS, actually, I've got a trust. It was established 25 years ago on this date. So then they're on notice and they give you an EIN so you can operate in commercial. And then you can report. Because
Okay.
prior to that, I mean, they're going to say it in your CP 575. We don't have any records of any prior reports. You need to submit it by this date. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
But the first thing to do is, now that you're aware of everything, create your trust.
Yeah.
Nothing
Okay.
else matters until you have your trust.
Gotcha. Dr. Heather did send you a quick memo. I'm not very computer savvy these days, let alone with a cell phone. So Telegram's still pretty new to me.
If you send me a DM, I'll respond. Sometimes I'm very slow to respond, but I'll respond. Trust me.
Oh, that's fine. No, I'm just letting you know I sent it already. So.
All right, appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Question. Can I ask a question really quick? You guys hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, great. I finally found it myself. I'm like Mr. Jason there, kind of going off the wing, off the head. I'm about 6 months, and I just been going crazy over here. But so when you do establish the trust, you don't have to necessarily go notarize it with the. I mean, not you do get it notarized for a witness. And I have 2 witnesses here in my household that's going to be a witness. But when I do I run down there and get it recorded at the county's office, one, and then I have like LLCs and cars and stuff, and I was listening to an older recording from you guys, and so I went into Copilot and I created an irrevocable trust, and I just wanted to know, am I doing that right? Do I do the revocable, and then do I just do things step by step? Create, like, just do a revocable, then do the irrevocable, then make the LLCs their own trust. Because then I just found out I want to have each one of my own LLCs have their own individual trust owned by the primary irrevocable family trust. So that part of it, am I all over the place, or should I just slow down and just get an irrevocable step and just go slow? And
I'll let Stephen answer that. Go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah, slow down. Start with the revocable living trust. Because if you mess that one up, you can create a new one, or you can modify its terms. If you mess up the irrevocable, congratulations, it's dead. You got to create a new one. So always practice first with the thing that you can change, then graduate to the thing that will be there forever, as long as the terms of it are being met. So, as it pertains to filing it, consult your state laws on how they handle trusts. Where I'm at, North Carolina, not required. They said, trusts are private, don't tell us anything. We don't care. So I could file it if I felt like it. I'm not compelled to. So it's actually more private than, say, California, where they say, we have to know about it, but we're not going to let you file it. Now you're in violation because we want your money. So you got to learn up on those laws that pertain to it.
Stephen, I'm so sorry. None of that matters what they say, because the trust operates from the corpus of the agreement between you, yourself, and you. So if it's, you see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's all private. So if you're going to record it or file it, it needs to be done for a very specific and special purpose and intention. Otherwise, it's none of their beeswax. It's private.
Exactly. And even further, I mean, the rabbit hole goes way further than that. That's a very good explanation. But once you have the trust and you have decided if you want to document it or not at the local municipal level, then you need to figure out, and I recommend you ask people that are business savvy on how to properly structure businesses and property and putting them into trust in an adequate structure to protect beneficiaries. Because while, yes, we all here want to do that, we haven't been professionals working in that particular field for decades. So we can come up with some crazy ideas, but other people have been playing in that field for decades. So they know what actually works, right? First things first, then graduate to the next level, then operate on a more sophisticated level. Because the hardest part is getting started. Then it's gaining experience, then finding people who have in-depth knowledge in the specific areas that you need to move into and get their assistance.
Okay, got it. So just start myself. Don't worry about my LLCs. Um, and like far as like having a fee schedule, though, that doesn't have to be like that's just gonna be a part of my trust when I do it at the notary. So if anybody violate and I got my fee schedule, I want to be able to implement the fee schedule if they violate me.
Right. I mean, because you can have it inside of your trust and you don't necessarily need to disclose it right off the rip, because the only thing that's really needed is the certificate of trust. What pertinent information is there that identifies a trust exists? That's it. They just need to know what its identification is, who's the trustee, potentially who's even the secondary trustee should the original trustee pass away or be incapacitated, and where to find it. That's it. I mean, the sample is very sufficient.
And I get the certificate of trust from the notary.
No. The certificate of trust is a document that is drafted by the trustee certifying that the trust exists. And it is notarized that the trustee signed that document stating they did that. That's the certificate of trust. You can write it on a napkin if you feel like it.
It's something that you create.
Right.
Got it for sure. Okay.
Right. I mean, if you felt like it, you got like you're really great with stonework, you can carve it into a slab of stone and a notary can put their signature and stuff on it. That's a certificate of trust, right? It's anything that the trustee wants to certify it exists. So it's not just like you must use a particular document certified by this agency. Who gave them authority? We're sovereigns. I didn't give them authority. So what capacity do they have to tell me what to do? Beings of God. God delegated his authority to us. He didn't give it to some entity that said, rule over these living men and women. So take that as you will, right?
Sweet, I love it. Beautiful, thank you. And then you said what's the where to find the templates at in what other group? Where is that?
It's a claim your credits. The version
Claim
1,
your
2,
credits.
3.
Okay.
Right. There are samples in there.
Yeah, there's
I mean, you can also Google it.
Yeah.
Because some people don't just put it on regular paper. Like you put it on bond stock, has got the nice embroidery around it. You can create your own seals, as fancy as you want. You're the trustee. Do what you want.
All right, JW, thank you for your question. Thank you, Stephen, for your answer and your support. Who's next?
Yep.
It's me again. How you guys?
Hey, me again.
Okay, so I live in a small town in South Carolina, and I took my trust, my irrevocable trust, to them, and told them that I wanted it to be recorded. So they took it to the back, and I waited like 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes. And when they brought it back, they said, we can't file this. And they gave me a form that stated that they weren't going to file it, a blue paper with signatures and the first name for the lady. So I said to them, well, what's her last name? And they just said whatever the first name was. So I know there's some kind of protocol that you can do if they refuse to file something for you. But instead of going through that headache, is there another recourse where I can take it to get filed? And
I wouldn't recommend filing your trust in the court. There's no reason for you to do it.
The only thing you're going to file is the certification of trust and or the abstract of trust. That's all. Just because you're
but you're
basically
following.
just, you're just
Yeah, go
saying,
ahead.
telling them that it exists. That's all
I
you're
went to
doing.
the county clerk's office though.
Yeah, the
That
county
was in the record.
Right, understood. But you don't need to file it with the county clerk. You don't even need to file your certificate of trust. Your EINs, you can, as long as you have an EIN number, that tells the government that it exists.
Okay.
So it's actually a good thing that they rejected it.
Yeah, because also if you took your trust indenture, which is at everything except the certification of trust, then that's not appropriate because it's a private trust are always private, so it wouldn't be appropriate for them to have it at all.
Yes, understandable. I took the first 10 pages. That's what I heard through this journey. You know, the
Yeah,
first
no,
10
definitely not.
pages
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've heard
clears
people say
what they
that too. But ultimately, it is if you think about it from a private capacity, there's no reason for you to do it. There's no benefit for you to do it. Let me say it that way. So what I would do is just go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's good. I just had a call. I had to beep that out.
No, I was just saying, as long as you have your EIN number, that establishes that you have the entity and that the entity does exist. And as long as you have a certificate of trust, so like if you're going to open up a bank account, you take that certificate of trust only, along with your ID showing that you are the trustee and you are the living person that's the trustee of that entity, and that's all they need to open up the bank account. There's no other reason to have anything from the county clerk's office to use for anything that you're doing.
Oh, okay. Because at one point I did hear also to go to the deeds part, you know,
Well, you
to
file it in the
file.
land. So anything that you file, in my opinion, anything that you file at the county clerk's office, no matter what it is, you file it in the land records. That's where you put it. You put it on the land, and it's called the real
Okay.
estate deeds. That's where the deeds are for like property and things like that. Because ultimately, when you file paperwork, you're saying this is property. Like when you file a UCC, you file it in the real estate land records, especially when you're making a claim on something.
Okay.
So,
the question is, if they don't do it where I'm at, where else can I go? Does anybody? I've heard about the common law I think it's org.net or something that they will file it in their publications, but I haven't gone there. I just heard about it.
I mean, you can go to use.
Any county.
You can go to any. You
Why
can
are
go to
you
New
doing it?
York. What'd you say, Stephen?
Why are you trying to have it on record?
Because that's what I heard that you have to do, put your stuff on record so that it wouldn't. It would.
I'll file that right along with if everyone jumps off the bridge, would you do it? Of things. Just because a bunch of people say, oh yeah, file all this really extremely private information that should be shared with no one ever, file all of it into the court system so they have exactly an idea of how you're going to operate and how to take advantage of it.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, there isn't any. There's a lot of misinformation out there, sis. So
yes,
right.
I wouldn't file anything in the county records unless you're going to use it in the public.
Okay.
That's the only time you need to file it if you want to get a certified copy or file something like in the land records, things like that. That's the only time I personally file things in the land records because I'm going to use it in the public in a court case or anything like that. That's when I file on the land records. My trust itself is not going to be filed in the county clerk's office.
Okay.
I will not.
Right. Yeah, because you want to navigate in such a manner that no municipality ever knows you exist. The only time your existence is known is when you show up to bust their heads because they violated. That's it. That's the only time ever. Because as living beings, we have no reason to interact with the dead. None.
Thank you.
The reason we create that bridge is to say the dead are screwing up and I'm here to put them in their place. That's the only time. And we step in with authority. That's it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. I mean, because there's lots of air quote experts. I've been doing this stuff for 40 years and this is the best way to operate. What are his motives? Who is he trained by? Is he indoctrinated or is she indoctrinated? Are they spouting stuff that goes contrary to the rules of equity? We have
That's
to
the key
use
right there.
Another
The
question.
rules of equity. That's the key right there. You just said it. Rules of if it goes against the rules of equity, fuck it. It's wrong.
Right. Like, I don't care who says it. I'll fight them. I don't care. Because if they're going against rules of equity, they're not doing equity, which means they're in usury, which means they're an enemy.
Thank you so
I have
much.
one
I'm
more
taking
question.
notes. Thank you.
Absolutely. Question. Go.
I have one more
man.
question. It's like the Matrix. It's like the Matrix for me. It's like, you know how Neo was, and you're waking up and you just know something was wrong. That's how it's been. I'm almost 50. I'm 49, and I'm telling my family members this stuff, and they're rioting, fighting me so tough. But that's okay. Once I start my processes. But one more question was like, as far as naming it, do I know to like name it a special name, or because I had it after my family name, like James and X, Y, and Z, and they were like, no, don't name it. Don't put your name in. That'll be putting business in the street. So should I name it
You can name it
a
whatever you
random
want
name?
it. It could be whatever you want it to be. Don't listen. Again, follow your
Don't
spirit
thank you.
and see
Okay.
what works for you. That's what's going to work for you. Your spirit knows better than any advice a single person is going to tell you about you.
Right. Like, if if you wanted to operate near the public, right, you would want to have the name close to the family name. That way they can relate the two things together. That's the only time that it's like to your benefit. Otherwise, just name it something crazy like Bubblegum Pop Trust. People are like, what the hell is that? And that's the point. What is that? It's private. It's completely ambiguous. Like, you could just name it Latin if you felt like it. Because then they'll have no idea what it's about unless someone speaks Latin.
Oh man.
Thank you.
Good question.
I got a question. Yeah, so it's all about the concept of the trust, right? I don't know. Hope I don't get. Isn't this whole thing? I think the greatest trick of all, which is a trick is finished on. So, is understanding the game of chess. The whole concept of the sesticate. It's a question, but not a question. Is the sesticate? It was not the sesticate because that's a fiction. It's not real too. But pretty much that's what we're all learning how to play chess and checkers. You gotta make sure you stay in your square, or they can knock your square off.
Right. And the easiest way to knock someone off their square is say, hey, the part you're standing in, that's my square. Can you move out of it? That's the easiest way to do it, truly. They say, just ask. Because people say, oh, I thought that was my square. That's my mistake. Steps out of it. They take all your stuff.
Yep.
Because it's an offer to contract. Just like, is stated name your name? That's a request to contract. Stepping out of your square. Do you understand? That's a request to contract. Are you falling under my rules? Those are the easiest ways to get people.
Yeah, owner and ownership. But no one's the true owner. Yeah, there's either a pilot or a co-pilot.
Right. The crazy ones. How are you doing today? Do you know how fast you were going? That's an offer to contract. They're trying to get you to step outside your square.
Well, it's not you, it's not me. Because I'm not the owner.
Right. Like, I'm not operating in a commercial capacity. Traveling. Know the law. Stand on your square. And it's a lot. Let's not pretend it's a lot. If you get overwhelmed, you're on the right track.
Definitely. Being overwhelmed is normal.
Right.
Oh, no. The craziest thing is the whole point is to confuse you. All these. But that's the whole point of statute codes, and the code
Yeah, that
you
stuff is not
put on
law.
the statute.
Right. Those are rules for federal employees to follow.
I'm not a federal employee.
Nope.
Even with the speeding, that or even with the they post a sign that says it's 45 miles an hour. That's a suggestion. It's not something that you have to follow. And then they start to say, "Oh, you were speeding. You were going 50, you were going 75 and a 45." Why are they asking me? Did I know I was speeding? If they obviously you stopped me for a particular reason. I'm not going to answer that for you,
Right.
and I'm
Where's
not
my
going to sign
attorney?
your ticket. You can refuse to sign it too. If they give you a ticket, try to give you a ticket.
Right. That's when a fee schedule shows up.
Mm-hmm. I got pulled
Right.
over in January, and I was going faster than what they had posted. And the guy said, "Oh, well, your plates are not registered anymore, and you were going fast, and we need you to sign such and such." I said, "I'm not signing anything." And they're like, "Oh, well, we need you to step out of the car, come in front of the vehicle, the police car, so we can see on camera that you're saying that you refuse to sign." I said, "Yep, and I'm actually going to write this on this piece of paper you're giving me. Refuse to sign. I do not consent." And that's what I
Signed under
did.
threat and duress.
Yep. Threat, duress, and coercion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All you had to knock you out your square. See?
Yep. Commercial contract.
Well, you were in the hub lane, and you, which is the HOV lane when you don't have two people in the car. Which is true. There weren't two people in the car, but okay. And I just kept saying, okay. They're like,
Well,
well,
there are two people.
Huh? Oh
There's
yeah,
always
there
two
is two.
people.
There is always two people. Right.
There's a commercial entity that you're transporting, and then there's the natural person, which we are.
And I'm not
That's
operating
two
commercial.
people.
I do not
No,
contract.
they have to create a way to interface, or we'll have a thing called anarchy.
Right.
You do know that the definition of passenger is somebody who pays a fare.
What is the definition?
It's somebody who's paying a fare, paying to ride. So
I've never heard that.
They're using a regular dictionary. Passenger is just somebody in my car, but if you look at DOT and the definitions, it's somebody who's paying a fare. So you never have any passengers, even no matter who is in your car.
So why?
Good to know.
So when it says two people, then what?
Two people
argue semantics.
They're just your friends, your family. They're not under any of the definitions. Is the point? They're not paying a fare. You don't have any passengers. You don't have any cargo.
Right.
You're just driving.
You're just traveling. Yeah. We got to be careful with all these people out here in the world that's trying to trap us. And even on Telegram, some of us can act like we're desperate for a resolution. Don't ever operate out of the place of desperation, because your spirit you're not going to be able to hear your spirit and hear the right direction, or just be able to discern things. Because there are people out here scamming people for money. You shouldn't have to pay thousands of dollars for information. That's absolutely ridiculous that people are doing that. And I know the people that are trying to charge for that feel like they should be paying for their time and all that, and that's their business. But what I'm saying to you, as being in the community of recoupers, be very careful about people that are asking you to do certain things, and they're a guru and they know how to do it. They can get you out of that. They can help me get rid of my car, blah, 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 blah. I just got to pay them $1,200. What? No.
Oh, don't forget to add, they could look to entrap you, use you as a guinea pig and entrap you. If something happens, well, there's nothing I could do for you.
Yep. And they can make your situation a whole lot worse. And I know I get DMs actually often where people tell me that people are scamming and using my name, but also people are that are in recoupers, because not everybody in recoupers is here for the right reasons. So you have to be able to discern that and be mindful of that. Pay attention to the ones that are really posting valuable information, valuable to you, because only you can tell what's valuable to you. I can't tell you that. That's why it's so important for you to be in tune with your spirit and to be in tune with yourself, because this is also a spiritual journey. It's not just simply, oh, I have information, it's all in my head, and once I have the knowledge that I can just perfect this and I'm good to go and I'm golden. No. This is also spirit-led journey that you have to go on as well. And I'm not talking about any particular deity or religion or anything like that. I'm talking about your own spirit within you is what I'm talking about. The intention of yourself and your higher self. I'm never going to talk to you about a particular deity or religion because I don't believe in them personally. I don't believe in one is greater than another. I believe they all have their place. So for me personally, I go by my spirit and what's led by me. That's why you'll always hear me say, well, what is your spirit telling you to do? Go with that. Because that's your higher self is not going to steer you wrong. It's other people that's going to steer you wrong. It's other people that's going to give you false information. And if you're not able to discern it, you can make a wrong turn. And then you'll be even more frustrated. And so you got to be patient, not just with yourself, but also with others. And as we build this community, as we're here every 2 weeks, we're here to help and to support, but we don't know all the answers. We're just here to give you some advice based on our own stuff out of love and out of care. And we're here to be here. We're here to support you and to be there for each other because it is not easy. I couldn't imagine not having a community trying to do this on my own. I'll be in the corner crying every single day because I'll be so frustrated. And I got to the point this year where I was very frustrated and I haven't done much in the last 4 months. But I've also had other things going on in my personal life as well. So that's why I'm not as active as I was in the beginning, but I'm still here because I believe in it and I believe in myself. I know what my spirit is telling me, not because I just hear it in recoupers. I hope that makes sense to some people.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
Good. Because you're the greatest thing in your life. You're the most important person in your life, y'all. Nobody is more important than you. I don't care if you do have a family and a spouse and all that. There's no one more important than you. Because you come first. There's nothing wrong with being selfish. There's something wrong with being self-centered, where everything is revolved around you. But being selfish and making sure that you're taken care of, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But we have been taught over the years that being selfish is wrong, and we're supposed to be externalize everything, give everything away, all of our love, all of our money, all of our resources to everyone else while we're over here drowning. Because then we never learn to receive either because we don't ever take care of ourselves. The first person that should be receiving is you. And if you don't practice that muscle, then you won't even know what it is when someone's trying to be there for you. And I'm guilty of that myself, and I had to learn that and allow people to be there for me. Not just me always being there for them, which was a trauma response of why I always wanted to be there for everyone else because I lacked love in my life growing up and I wanted everyone to love me. So I felt like if I was there for everyone else, then I would receive all this love. It's lies. It's trauma.
Oh, look. Wow, that's so relatable. I can add to that. I call that, like, you know how the musicians, they just play by ear? It's called playing by intuition. You got to practice that. It's a lost art that people forgot about, which is being in the spirit.
Agreed. So true. You got to be able to be, that's why you got to have that quiet time. That's why you can't be in these groups all day long. You can't be in recoupers all day long, typing and texting, and you'll never take the time to for yourself. It's very important that you take time to yourself. Quiet time. Even if you have a family and other responsibilities, there's got to be some 15 minutes, 20 minutes you can find in a 24-hour period where you could just meditate or just get quiet. I find myself that when I get quiet is when my mind starts going. And I'm starting to get answers for things that I was confused about or frustrated about earlier on in the day or last week or a couple days ago. Then all of a sudden, if I'm going to get a massage and then I'm on the massage table and it's quiet and they're playing really soft, like meditation music, then my mind starts to get clearer. If that works in that type of environment to relax you and you can start to get answers that way, why wouldn't that work at home? It will. Because I take me everywhere I go. And so you have to find these little things that help you become the best version of yourself. And the whole point of all of this that we're doing, all this paperwork is about freedom within first and then externally. So I hope that it encouraged someone because I just know that it helps me to remind myself of that because I have those days where I get frustrated. I don't know. I know a little bit about a lot of different things. But I'm not an expert on anything. I'm an expert on Heather. That's about the only thing I'm an expert on. because I've learned to how to deal with me. I deal with myself, the good, the bad, and the indifferent, all of it. And tell yourself the truth. That's important that you tell yourself the truth. That, okay, well, I don't understand this. Let me go get some. Let me see if I can look up and do some research. And now let me go talk to this person. So if once you start telling yourself the truth, you'll be open. You will open yourself up to the solutions that you need for your life. Okay, that's enough of my soapbox. Any questions?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
I like what you're saying. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
What you said. I'm having an issue with a step parent. My father passed away, and his wife is basically stealing the entire estate. My father did not read and write very well, so I believe he may have signed some things that he didn't understand. I've been trying to get my father's also his medical records and the autopsy, because we are entitled to have the autopsy as an heir, and I'm not able to get that. The reason why I'm trying to get the autopsy, because the last time, the day that my father passed away, we were at a funeral, out of town at a funeral, and my dad's wife was on the phone, called us and said my dad passed away. I told her to please give me my dad was at the hospital. And when I left my father, he was fine. He was just he got out of ICU of a delirious state that we feel that that his wife gave him something. I don't know what, but he was just delirious, and then he got out of ICU, and he was getting better. And I asked the nurse about the tube in his
Cheryl, let me stop you for a second. Let me ask you some questions to get some clarification. How old was your father?
He was 79.
How long was he married to the stepmother?
At the time, he was 78. I'm sorry?
How long was he married to the stepmother?
He married her in 2011.
So 14 years they were married. Mm-hmm. He just passed?
He passed last year.
Okay, so about 13, 14 years. And did he have a will?
It was a will, but I don't...
You've never seen it?
I saw it now. I saw it after the fact. Here's the thing. I don't believe he signed that actual will. But
who signed it?
I believe she signed it.
Do you have an abstract of his signature to compare?
Yes and no. I don't. It's very vague. The reason why I say that she signed it because it's signed small, and my father had big hands. So that part.
So what assets is she stealing? Is it like a house? Is it money? What is it?
It's all the above. He had property, he had a house, and on top of that, she's trying to kick us out of the house my father left us. I worked for my father. He had his own business.
Okay.
And so right now I've been in and out of court because she wants this house that I live in.
She lives someplace else.
Yes.
And you live in a different property that your father had owned.
Right.
And now she wants that property that you live in, correct?
Correct.
And when you go to court, what has been happening? Who's suing who when you go to court? She's suing you or you suing her?
She's suing me. She's evicting me. She's trying to evict me. And she is.
And she's using the will to say that she has the right to do that?
Yes.
And have you read this will?
Yes, and it is said that she's the executrix of the estate. And I'm the second executor of the estate. If anything happens to her, it will go to me. And I noticed my father had her sign off on a will as well, that it goes I am the executrix of her will. But my father did not know that she could change her will any time. That wasn't, so it's like I know my father had a will. I know he he wrote it down, but I think something in between of her taking the will after his death, she infiltrated it. Or she got him to sign it and he didn't know what he was signing.
So the property that you live in right now, did your father ever give you anything in writing stating that it was okay for you to be there?
No, it was all verbal. But my father I did have a recording in 2022 of how my father wanted how he was going to update his estate.
A recording where he died in 2011, you said?
He died in 2024.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
But
but in 2022, you have a recording of him saying that he's going to update his will to say A, B, C, and D?
Correct.
So did you contest the will then?
I tried to, and
use the recording?
I couldn't. They won't let me implement when I went to the probate, the judge said, "Where's your lawyer?" And then I was like, "At the moment, I don't have a lawyer." He up and left. I had a lawyer, but he up and left. I don't know what the reason is. He only gave us the will, and then he just up and left. The two wills, my dad's will and her will. That's the only thing he gave me, and he was there to say, yes, I am the lawyer of Michelle, and probate the case. So I took an initiative to do some motions and bring it up that, hey, this is not right. She's trying to evict us from a house that I'm an heir, and my father left us the house. Also, my father was in transition of updating his estate. I mean, like, he, at the time before his passing, he was getting ready to sell a big piece of his property, and he was going to pay out all his estate. All of his debt, and he didn't have any debt. He had consolidated.
So when you went to court last, what did the judge say? Where is it at right now? What's the status?
So probate and okay, let me just say this. When I went there to do the what you call it, I could not talk. She would not let me talk because of my dad's wife's lawyer said, "Why are we here, Judge?" She had a chance with her lawyer, and for the record, this already been probated and everything, and so I wasn't able to say much of anything, just my name, and that was it, really and truly.
And what was the conclusion of that hearing? What did the judge conclude?
She didn't say. She said the court is adjourned. Now the case is still open, of course, because I have so many years to go back. But
so she sided with the wife. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes, they gagged me basically. I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak my truth.
And so, have you filed an appeal or no?
I haven't filed the appeal yet because I don't know how to go back in there and do it.
When was court? How long ago?
I don't know how to. I stutter a little bit, so it's hard for me to.
That's okay.
Go in there and
articulate yourself. You can also write it down.
Yeah, my paperwork. Yes, I had everything written down. Everything I gave to them, but they wanted. It was like I couldn't. I was like, everything is written down, and then she's like, well, you need to, what is your judgment? What did she say? She said something, and I said, ma'am, I'm coming here and she said, well, I'm speaking now, and that's how she shut me up.
The judge.
Mm-hmm.
Did you file all this paper, all what you wrote down? Did you file it in the case?
Yeah. That's how I got the hearing. I thought that I was going just to talk to her so I could give her let her listen to the recording, but I didn't know it was a whole hearing, with them and everything. I'm thinking I was going to talk to her and show her the information, and then she was going to do the hearing. She didn't expect the hearing, and I was like, "What's going on?"
How long ago was this?
This was This was in June, something like that.
So you're still in the house then?
Oh yeah, I'm still in the house. Like I just went to court again on the 28th, Thursday, and I lost that too.
What did they say on Thursday?
For the plaintiff.
To do what? To evict you?
Pretty much, yeah. She had already. Okay, so Thursday was the appeal. I appealed it. So Thursday was the appeal, and I went there. I don't have a lawyer, and I told them, I said, look, I don't have a lawyer at the time. I need representative. I even wrote a document in before, like few days, like 15 days before, stating that I don't want to. It was a Zoom type of court. I said I want to be in person, and I want to trial by jury. That's what I put in, and I didn't get any answer back. So I went to court stating that I have a document filed that I didn't want a trial like this. And by the way, I don't have any representative. And this man, he denied it. And he said, Michelle, put your hand up. Miss Booker, put your hand up. We're going to have court. So after court, I went to appeal again, and basically said that I was denied of my rights of a representative.
Can I say something?
This is a tough one.
Yeah, it is tough because it's crazy.
I think somebody wants to give some feedback.
Yeah, feedback. Because have the other party lawyer?
Say that again?
Yes, the other party has a lawyer.
Yes, the other party has a lawyer.
So
it's actually my father's lawyer. He turned. Okay, my dad hired the lawyer, and again, like my dad made his wife sign off on her will, so it became her lawyer as well. So he basically got in bed with the stepmom and avoided me the entire time. And my father said, if anything happens to him, go see my lawyer. And the lawyer didn't want to talk to me. He have yet to talk to me, and the wife has to talk to me.
You have to focus on a different level. If it's a false, you can talk to your father's doctor and and ask the doctor to make a statement of what kind of medical capacity was your father in a time that will get documented, and then you can use that, and you have to make your witnesses on paper that is stating no, this will is fraudulent, and make them converting kind of false claims. And because I'm working on the same case with my father, my uncle passed away, and somebody make him fool. He cannot even write in the computer. So and some other people, I talked to them, so I'm witnessing. I'm saying this is like I don't know what in English, but false statement. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a false statement, and that he must have signed it under duress, basically.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so you have to collect statements from public people, and if it's a lawyer and the judge doesn't do the job, so it's a way to notice them in their working space.
Yeah, well, your civil rights are being violated, so yeah, you can definitely do that. And if they didn't have, if it wasn't done correctly, you can take it to federal court.
Yes, I definitely want to get to federal court. I'm just now trying to understand what's the next step to do.
There's a folder in Recoupers that talks about court cases, and it has a different variety of different court cases and stuff. That I think it started out talking about child support, but there's other people in there that talk about other court cases in there. I would advise you just to kind of go in there to see if there's any nuggets you can glean from there regarding court cases, and if there's anything you can file, because this is not a financial. Well, it is a financial thing, but there's no way for you to validate it. Like you can't file a 1099 on her or anything like that. Like if there was any proof that you had like a lease that you were paying your father, there's any type of documentation that would help you, but you don't have anything. And you've lived in
I do. I have his statement, verbal.
You talk about the recording.
Yeah, I have recordings. I don't have like actual.
You could transcribe them.
Yes. I
get them transcribed. That's what I would do. Number one, so you can put it inside of the case instead of having someone trying to listen to the recording. I would transcribe them.
And then file it.
And then you can file it in the case. Yes.
You can also hire a handwriter, hand analysis.
Right. That's why I was asking if she can check if she had his signature from someplace else.
Yeah, the signature thing, it's hard because it looks like his, but it's just smaller.
Yeah, but like he was just saying, you can get a handwriting analysis, a forensic handwriting expert that can say whether or not that was your father's actual signature. Because people can mimic signatures all day long.
Okay, and then another thing is that I believe she basically took my father's life because my dad was in the hospital and he wasn't supposed to be eating, and she fed him anyway. And that was another motion that I put to the probate judge, and she is not. I'm gonna have to.
Well, that's a criminal case that you're talking about. Those are two different things.
I mean, she was under the doctor's care. The doctor said that they were going to monitor my father for a week. He was on a feeding tube, but come Friday and then Saturday she fed him, and that Saturday when she fed him, he was choking, and that's why I knew that what was going on, because I told her to put the nurse on it, and I started asking him questions. I said, "What do you see? What is he? Is he? You said he's choking. What is he choke? What's going?" He said it's a substance coming out of his mouth, and because she said something about.
Well, make sure you go get those witnesses and get that in writing from what they witnessed as soon as possible. Well, it's been over a year, so they may not remember.
Right, but I don't know. I was out of town. That was the problem.
No, I understand, but I'm saying if you're trying to get somebody in a criminal case or any capacity of accusing someone of something, there has to be evidence.
Right.
And there has to be witnesses.
Right.
And since you weren't there and you're saying that you spoke to this person and that person, you need to have it in writing, what they said.
Right. I'm here's the thing. I'm trying to get the medical record so I can get that person that was in the room.
They're saying you don't have the right to the medical records.
Right. I if I had the right to the medical records, we wouldn't. I don't think I'd be in here. She'd been in jail or something, you know. And the autopsy, we are entitled to the autopsy, but we believe she did a private autopsy because we've been trying to get the autopsy and the
medical. You know if it was done? An actual autopsy was done?
It on the death certificate it said it was done.
So you got a copy of the death certificate though?
Yes. Yes, we've been trying to, and then he was like, I didn't know the guy's name about get the doctor. The problem with that, we've been trying to get up with the doctor. The doctor will not return our calls because he knows the wife.
This not going to be solved on this call today, baby.
Yeah,
I conflicts of variance, but yeah.
What you say, Decent?
I said conflict of interest and conflicts of variance.
Yeah, conflict of interest. Yeah. So I don't really have. I was trying to talk it through to give you a little bit of advice, but I don't have much more I can tell you, sis. I'm sorry. There's like as far as these court cases, I would suggest going to the federal level but gather as much evidence as you can and transcribe those audios that you have, so it's in writing and that you can use that to put inside of your case.
What about staying in the house? That's what I need to know how to
Well, that's what I was going to say. So how long have you lived there?
Since I was 15.
For how long?
Since I was 15 years old, over 30 some years.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, possession is 9/10 of the rule. For one, but for two, did your dad you said you worked for your dad, did he pay you in with checks? Like
he did.
Okay. So I mean, if you wanted to, you could get out the old checks and see his signature. So that would help you see if his signature was changing. But if you've been there since you were 15, it's like, and you're the heir and you have the death certificate, is there money owed on it? Like, what will your stepwife, is there any money owed on it?
There is no money owed on it because of the sale that went through when my father went into the hospital. The wife took over the sale of his big property that my father said that once he sell the property, his estate is free and clear of debt. And she was claiming that it was debt on the house and she needs to sell it right away. And I called her out on that. That is a lie. And I put on the statement that if you're lying about something, a lying is, and then like on the 28th, I noticed she didn't say anything about anything owed on there, I was get to that, but I could not talk because both of them was ganging up on me. And I was like, look, you want me to talk and do my case, and I'm trying to talk to you and you keep interrupting me. I'm trying to explain to you all the issues that all the what you call it, what was in hand, and it was terrible between her lawyer and the judge.
Okay, so circling back, do you have a trust?
No.
Okay, because and that is where on the claim your credits, back to the beginning of the conversation, the first one is only 7 pages, but it tells you very detailed how to do a trust. But I would think you could put like dad's death certificate maybe in the trust, and also put the meets and bounds description of the property in the trust.
Yes.
Like, because you're there, it's almost like eminent domain. Like, we had a property that the neighbor used to ride his car through on an old abandoned road that had been abandoned since like a long time, but he had lived there before we bought the land. And so he claimed that he had it as a right of way because he had been using it for 20 years or 30 years. So the thing is, yeah, I would, that's what I would do, is look into that. And if you haven't used ChatGPT, not saying that I have, but some of my friends have, you can scan in documents and you can ask ChatGPT.
Oh yes, that's how I did got to the probate and got back into court with Chat.
What state are you in? South Carolina, did you say?
No, Texas.
Oh, Texas. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say that I understand when you're saying about the trust, and I do. I want to get a trust, and my question was on the trust, doing it after the fact. How does that play in?
Well, you can do your trust back 25 years. Okay. But I guess I was just thinking, and you may or may not be able to use the trust, but you certainly could use the meets and bounds of your childhood house.
Mm-hmm.
It's a possibility, but more I think that the eminent, just look up the state of Texas rights of the heirs. And also, if you've lived somewhere for 30 years, your dad moved in with his ex-wife. Correct. Or with his widowed wife 11 years ago. And so clearly he didn't say like, oh, I'm gonna put the house, like clearly he was like, okay, she's in the, Michelle's in my house type of thing. So
clearly he gave it to me because I worked for him, and he was going to put it in my name after the big sale that he did, because he had he had some he had did some equity out of the house, so he was going to make sure everything's free and clear, and then he's going to put it in my name. So
right. And so the other thing that you could probably do regarding the eminent domain thing is that you could basically do a have all your family and friends and people, neighbors, like just have a whole bunch of people write up a statement or an affidavit if they're willing to just say, yeah, Michelle and her dad had a good relationship. They worked together,
Yes, that's why I want to do a trial by jury so I can get them in there.
But skip the trial by jury for now because they're hard to get. But in general, if you have like 20 neighbors doing a affidavit that, that like everybody, like, yes, of course.
Yeah, I think Susanna's on the right track. Just go ahead and get a bunch of witnesses as much as possible. That witness that you painted the house and stuff. But yeah, Michelle, we need to move on because we only have 2 more minutes on this call.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
Out of my thinking about this. So what if she came into it equitably and then offered to purchase it with like a bonded promissory note or something like that, and then that way she would have the prowess of also having the standing of being the purchaser, being there for so many years, and the equitable exchange, with putting that into the court, into the CRIS system, because it's in Texas, they all have them, and doing that. How's that sound?
So she would do what, a 1099A for acquiring of the property, and then she would do what?
Well, no, I'm just making an offer, like she could just make a bond, a promissory note.
Yeah, but that's also good. Michelle, did you clean? Did you care for it? Did you help your dad maintain it?
Oh yeah,
especially.
I worked for my father. I made sure that this house and his other properties were up to par. That's what I did, and he was a landlord.
Okay.
Yes.
So you, for getting compensated for your work on that house, especially for the years that your dad was not there, you could just do a mechanical lien, I would think. Yeah, just to add up how many hours you think you spent per year. Yeah. Because then if she goes to sell it, there'll be a mechanic's lien on it. And like if the house is worth $200,000, have your mechanic's lien be, at least that.
I did want to ask this. I heard that it was illegal. It could have been illegal how his wife came by putting her name on this house, because it was bought in 1990, way before he married her, and it was only in my father's name. So, even though she is executor, it's a certain way how she supposed to put the house in her name, right? Can I catch her on that?
At this point, you may have to consult a lawyer, because you have a lot of ins and outs on what happened and what you should have done. And the best thing I would do is at this point, because like I said, you got your time going in with she's trying to move you from the house. Even with you're going back of her being in the hospital with your dad. The best thing I would do is suggest that you talk to a lawyer quickly. Because even with us giving you information, we're giving you some information to try to help you, but your way it sounds, you got a big hole to create to get out of. And if I was you, I'd just talk to a lawyer. You want to talk to either a state lawyer, an heirs lawyer, something in that category.
In a state, somebody does probate.
Correct, because right now, and this is emergency. What you need to do.
Okay, a state lawyer.
In trust?
Yeah. What'd you say, Paradox?
Yeah, is the property in trust or is it just in the will?
It's just in the will, under his business name.
All right, I'm gonna say this really quickly. That this is the disclaimer. I am one of those who usually ask a free will offering for information. Yet I'm going to give this all to you free if you will take notes and listen.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. There are several ways that you can approach this. One, you can make a public notice, your daily record in your newspaper, stake your claim in the newspaper, and as far as equity goes, you'll just run it from 2 weeks to 21 days in the newspaper, and you bring that to court with you. Another thing that you can apply is like Miss Susan says that possession is 9/10 of the law. I've been in this situation several times where I was in a house, or even people that I deal with, they're in a house and they want to either evict them or foreclose. Now, if that house is old enough, which I think it is, that house is old enough. That means if it's changed hands, there's one aspect of that house that is not there anymore, and that's the original note. So if you went to court and asked them to produce the original note and I'll leave, that's a defense. Another one for you is the postal rule. You make a contract and you put it in a letter. You get two witnesses, which would be equivalent to having a notary. It's even more powerful than having a notary. You get two witnesses to put on that document, and whatever you write in there, you send it to her by certified mail, where you have to have a signature card. That means that someone there has to sign for it. And when they do sign for it, whatever they sign, whatever's inside of there by the postal rule, they've agreed to a contract. I yield.
Forget the reading hours, all the time that she spent. Forget that.
Yeah.
You say what now? What about the hours?
Well, it's part of your claim that we're talking about, creating the claim with all the hours you put in and the time that you did things that you weren't paid for.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. You said to bring it to court, you saying file the public notice to court, basically?
What you can do when you get the public notice from the newspaper, you get it from the newspaper and you take that into court with you, and this is your claim, and you can enter that into the case. So let them know this is your claim, and it's public notice. Whoever it is on the other side, most likely they're not going to be looking at the newspaper to rebut it. And if you have anything that you want to accuse her of whatever it is, you say you have witnesses. Well, for a crime, that sounds criminal, just like the doctor says, Dr. Heather, it sounds criminal. So in order to prosecute for a crime, you have to have loss. Is two elements: loss, harm, damage, or injury, which you are the injured party. And then you have to have an illegal agent who knew their actions was going to cause a loss, harm, or damage, which would be the wife. And in order to prosecute for that, you would have to have two corroborating witnesses with firsthand knowledge and signed affidavits of an alleged loss, harm, damage, or injury.
Okay, I have that because everybody, it was 4 to 6 people listened to that call when they was trying to recess my father. So, okay.
At the top of the paper, they'll write affidavit, because an affidavit unrebutted stands as fact. So you have as many witnesses as possible, and that's wonderful. You have them put the word affidavit at the top and write their accounts. Now, they have to have firsthand knowledge. That means they would have to have been there, and have them make sure that their stories corroborate. If everybody's saying something completely different, that may work against you.
What about it was 2 children? I mean, they were screaming when they heard it. So
No, they need to be over the age of 18.
Right.
All right.
Thank you for your question, and hopefully you got some good nuggets from all the
I
different
did.
people in your community that can help you
Thank
make
you.
a
Thank you
decision.
so
Anybody else? We need to wrap up this call. Anybody else have any questions?
Me really quick again. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You said on the claim the credits where to get the templates. I'm on claim the credits and I don't see
Go into the
anything up there in the
you should go
file.
in the files and media. Look there for it's a Word document, I believe, or a PDF file.
And it'll say
Claim your credits
trust.
version 1 or version 2.
Okay, claim your. Or I just see claim your credits and it says
Then
Kyla.
when you go into the guide, that's it.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
No, that's it. The guide is it.
Thank you.
Dr. Heather, this is really quick. When it comes to this, the 670 147C letter, I just received the used for payments letter, and this is from my foreign grantors trust. And I'm staying in an extended stay hotel. Is it possible that I can utilize this for payment here?
Because they send you an invoice. They give you an invoice, but that's after you pay it, not before you pay it. Because I used to stay in an extended stay, so I remember how that went. I don't think it's going to be a quick process. I think you will have to pay it up front and then do the OID way. To be honest, to recoup your money back from the invoice.
All right. Thank you.
That's what I would think.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your question. Anybody else? Because we're about to wrap this up.
Yes. Before she goes, I want to give a message to is it RP? I sent you an inbox on how to endorse it, your 670, and also Dr. Heather. I found that information for your car, for the IRC we was talking about. I sent two. I did a copy and paste. I did one that talks about the Emergency Banking Act of 1933, but then also too I sent another information about the IRC for then to help you out with your car.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Annie?
Yeah, I just had something brought to my attention this morning, and I just wanted to, make the group aware of this. My stepson, unfortunately, he doesn't want to hear any of this stuff. He thinks I'm crazy. I drank the Kool-Aid anyway. But his and his wife's car loan statement come to our other house because he hasn't changed the address in, I don't know, it's probably been almost a year now. And my friend, who is also his mother-in-law, opened that statement this morning, and there's no payment due. It's zero all the way for the next payment for in September. And last month when we looked at the same statement, there was a payment due. It makes no sense. And that's
maybe he overpaid.
No, there was nothing. He doesn't do anything. His name's only on there because he's they made him first and his wife second, and his wife is her daughter, and he's my stepson. And it's just really weird because there's been so much out there about the Jubilee and things happening in the background, and all of a sudden,
have you ever asked him?
No.
Why now, zero?
Well, it just came. It just came in the mail this morning.
That's what I'm saying. Have you ever? Well, I would ask him. I mean, do you have a relationship enough to ask him or his wife? Hey, this came in the mail today, and it came. Just curious. Why is your stuff zero?
His mother, my friend, my best friend, her mother is going to address this, but I just wanted to bring it up because it was just really, really weird that all of a sudden this,
the statement is just zeroed out.
Yeah, it's just zeroed out. And
was he a vet?
Pardon?
Or her? was whoever the car loan's in a vet by any chance?
No. Nope. It they're just two regular people working two regular jobs. In fact, she just had a baby on Sunday, which it was funny because her mother was able to come home because she babysits all week, and then she was able to come home, and that's where the mail comes, and she collects the mail and then she brings it back over there. I don't know why they haven't changed the address for the mail, but
that is very strange. But I would ask. I would definitely ask.
Yeah, questions are definitely going to be asked, but I just wanted to bring it up because there's so much information out there, coming across, about all this Jubilee stuff, because the fraud has been exposed with all these loans and everything. So yeah, we don't know why yet. I just wanted to bring it up. That's all.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I appreciate you guys. I wish you were doing every Saturday. My alarm still goes off every Saturday.
We don't have the time for that, but yes, every Saturday.
Well, we appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So this is the end of our call. If you have any questions that didn't get answered and you just want to post it in the chat, I'll leave it open for a few minutes. And then we could probably try to answer your questions there. But it's 3:05. And as you know, we only go to 3:00 Eastern time. So from 1 to 3 for 2 hours. So thank you guys for all of your questions and your comments and for being a part of the call today. We really appreciate you. For all the people that have asked their questions or give comments or statements, we really appreciate all the community and support that you guys give each other. And we'll be back here in 2 weeks. So you guys have a good week, okay? And remember, if you get a DM from me, it probably isn't me. Okay? Block them. It's a scammer. So it's not me DMing you. So you guys have a great week, okay?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Heather.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Dr. Heather.
Welcome. Have a good one.